This podcast contains strong language.
Hello and welcome to What Lingers. This is the podcast from the people behind Storytelling Lisboa, where we uncover the questions behind people's stories.
I'm Cristian Figueroa.
And I'm Liz Melchor.
And we are the team behind Storytelling Lisboa, where once a month, 10 storytellers get on stage in front of 200 people and tell true and personal stories related to a theme.
We don't produce anyone. We encourage newcomers. The night is free for all. We want an inclusive stage dedicated to fostering community, sharing the human experience.
And we just love it. But, honey, there is a problem. We always have lingering questions for the storytellers and no format to ask them. Until now.
What Lingers is a chance to dive back in, inviting storytellers to retell their stories and stay for a conversation in front of a smaller live audience at LX Brewery in the heart of Lisbon.
Liz, this week's story is, how can I say it? It has a little bit of everything, you know? It has a personal thing, it has a trip, it has everything.
Okay, and I don't think we have any other stories ever on our stage that features prominently wild boars,
What?
bicycles,
Oh my God.
and nakedness.
I love it.
And plus other details.
Yeah, I remember this story having a little tweak of spirituality and human quest, so I like that.
This is true. So a reminder for everyone that we recorded this in a legit brewery, and so you may hear a bit of background brewing.
So Liz, there's no time like the present. What? What is
Say it
my
in
question?
Say it in your own words.
So Liz, chica, vamos. Here's Sylvia with the story on the theme, wrong directions.
I think this is more intimate than the big event. Now I can see all the faces, so give me a moment to study your faces. This is for me more intimate than having a one-night stand together. So please stay with me, you know? If we're having a one-night stand and you're taking out your mobile, it's, you know, so stay with me. Okay. So I'm Sylvia, I'm from Germany. I live in Portugal since more or less 5 months. And yeah, 1 year ago, I broke up with my husband after 12 years of marriage. Not an easy process. And the thing is, when you say, until death tears us apart, you don't have a plan B, right? So I didn't know what to do. I just knew, okay, this doesn't work anymore. We're just best friends, but we're not a couple anymore. But I had no plan. And I was 40 and there's no template for women, childless women with 40. What to do now? I had a career, I made it somehow. I had the career, I had the beautiful apartment, I had my dream job, so what to do now? So one night I was on YouTube and couldn't sleep and ate pizza, and then I found this place in Portugal. Tamara. It sounds already like beautiful. It sounds like paradise, right? Tamara. And it was a video where you could see this eco-village with green meadows, artificial lakes, beautiful people laying in the sun, half naked, and dancing around the bonfire and doing their eco shit, like harvesting fresh fruit, and I thought maybe that's it. Maybe paradise actually exists, you know? Maybe I have to get out of this beehive Germany where everybody's productive the whole time and we're defining ourselves by being busy and having work and jobs, yeah, until the end of the year, yeah, great. So that was my life. People were proud to have no time at all. And then I saw these people chilling in the sun, and I thought, okay, that's it. Maybe it really exists. So I want to do that. I made the decision, okay, this new life should be more sustainable, and it should be a community life, not only about myself and my dreams, blah, 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 blah. No, it was, I want to commit myself not only to one man or one woman, I want to commit myself to community. So, but it doesn't make sense to start a more sustainable life and first thing you do is taking the plane to another country, So I thought maybe I also choose a more sustainable way to go to Portugal. Why not going by bike? I have a proper bike, and I love cycling, so why not? Haven't done any cycling, like long distance cycling before, but yeah, sometimes I do these things and oof. I was so busy with breakup and storing all my former life in boxes in someone's basement. So, I didn't even have time for training. I was overweight, no muscle, nothing. I didn't even know how to change a tire, anything. So in the end, I found myself in the middle of the Pyrenees, trying to find a mobile connection to load a YouTube video how to change a tire. And I had really no fucking clue, but I learned day by day, step by step, with every mountain, with every hill, I became stronger and more confident that I can actually trust my body. Even though I'm not, not perfectly athletic, what people consider athletic, but I can trust myself. So somehow I made it, 3,000 kilometers to Portugal. And of course, every time when I had to cycle up a fucking mountain, I dreamed about this paradise, and I know people say, keep your expectations low, but it's really hard to keep your expectations low if you have to cycle 3,000 kilometers to your goal. So it became this great place, the fulfillment of all my dreams, the sexual dreams, the ecological dreams, they're all dreams. Tamara was everything. So when I arrived there and I saw finally this sign over the road, Tamara, I was like, I could hear the angels singing. And I made videos for all my friends dancing around the sign and just being happy, and I couldn't believe it. I really made it. And then I came to the village. They didn't know I'm coming. My community course was supposed to start a few days later, but I thought, well, it's not too bad to come a bit earlier, get used to the people, get used to the vibe. So I arrived there. And everybody looked at me like, oh no, again, one of these cycling Germans who comes here like, hello, who's waiting for me? And nobody was waiting for me. They were like, oh yeah, you cycled the whole way from Germany. Yeah, the last dude from Germany did the same. And it's really not what you want to hear after 3,000 kilometers. And they were not impressed at all, and they were also not paying any attention to me. Like, they walked around like that was something I realized or I recognized in the first moment. Everybody looked down to the ground, and I was like, okay, what is going on here? I talked to a volunteer, and she said, yeah, they're all in their processes. And I thought, oh, okay, their processes must be heavy, and. Then this volunteer brought me to the campsite. I brought my own tent, and I looked forward to finally get some rest after all the up and down in the Alentejo area and Portuguese sun. So I was really looking forward for some quiet time, some rest. But then, as we came closer to the campground, I could hear grunting. And I thought, okay, I know this eco-village has a strong emphasis on free love. So, are you supposed to do that? Yeah, I knew this village has a strong emphasis on free love, and I thought, okay, maybe that's it. Maybe people are having a good time here in their tents. But no, then it came closer, and I could hear breaking poles, ripping fabric, and clashing teeth and horns. And it was half dark, so I couldn't see anything. And I asked this girl, what is going on here? And she said, oh yeah, that's just wild boars. They're doing this sometimes. And then standing on the campground, I could see they were in the tents, They were ripping apart people's private property. And I could hear them eating stuff inside the tents, and really the tents were a mess afterwards. It looked like a civil war area. And I asked her, okay, what should we do? I mean, we have to tell the people, we have to alert, we have to do something, And she was like, no, we have contracts with the wild boars. So if they're doing that, it's because some of our community did something wrong. Because then otherwise they wouldn't do that. We have a contract, and they love us, we love them. And I was like, dude, that doesn't look like a contract. I mean, this is brutal what these wild boars are doing here. And she said, no, that's not aggression. It's just they're showing us that we've broken the contract. And I thought about toxic relationship, where you also say, no, this is not aggression. This is just, they love us. Yeah. And she said, but don't worry, you will get into this. This is called animal-human cooperation, and we do this a lot here. We have contracts with the foxes, with the chicken, with every animal we live together with. We have contracts, and normally it works very well. Only exception, some human does a mistake. Some human, doesn't stick to the contract. So, and then she left me alone. In the middle of this civil war, she left me alone and said, yeah, don't worry, no, they will not attack you. They're not aggressive. But to me, it seemed very aggressive. So I took out my taser, because of course I have a taser. I have to cycle alone in the middle of nature. I took out my taser, and with the other hand, I tried to set up my tent while the wild boars were running circles around me. And I was highly, highly stressed while I did that. And then at some point, finally, my tent was set up, and I was inside, and I felt a bit more safe, at least. And I called Moritz, my ex-husband, because we're still best friends. And I cried a lot. I really cried a lot. It was so disillusional, because also the lakes weren't lakes anymore. It's just empty holes. So I was looking forward to these beautiful artificial lakes, but it was after hot Portuguese summer, so it was just a hole in the ground. It looked like there was a asteroid coming, And the green meadows weren't green anymore. It looked just like a desert. And then these zombies walking around in their processes. And so I was so disappointed. And then I told Moritz about all of that and cried. And then I could hear from the tent next to me, cry more quiet, please. And I was done. I was really done. And the next day I thought, okay, I need some friends here. I need to make some alliances to help me. Allies. I need to make some allies here. And so I signed up for the dishwashing shift. I signed up for the dishwashing shift, and there was this beautiful Spanish woman. She looked like a fairy, and she moved like a fairy. I mean, even in the kitchen, she did everything so gracefully, and she came really, really close. Whenever she talked to me, was like really a few centimeters far from me, when you can't even focus on both eyes at the same time anymore. It was that close. And I was really intimidated by her. And I told her about what happened yesterday. And then she said, oh yeah, don't worry. That's how it works. And in Tamara, we have this amazing relationship with all animals here. And it was really like sexual all the time. And you will get into it. You know, I have lice at the moment. It was like stepping back a few steps. I have lice at the moment, but I don't do anything against them. Like, I don't use chemicals on my head. No. I just meditate. Every morning I meditate. I talk to the lice. I tell them, thank you that you're here. I appreciate that you chose me from all the people here, but now it's time to go, you know? It's time for you to leave. And then I send them away. And, you know, at some point the lice will leave. I know that. Ooh. At that point I found her really attractive, but somehow the lice didn't help. And then I really didn't know what to say about all this human-animal cooperation stuff. And then I said, but yeah, don't worry about yesterday. You know, I had my taser, so I felt quite safe after a while. And then she stepped back and was like, we're peace workers. This is a peace biotope. How can you bring a weapon to Tamara? And I was like, I came here by bike. I'm a woman. I need a weapon. Sorry, this is just our reality. I wish I wouldn't need a weapon, but I do. And she said, yeah, but you can't. You should have buried it in the ground before you came to Tamara. It's not. And then she said, yeah, but now I know. And I said, what do you know? Yeah, now I know. Now I know why they attacked us yesterday. You broke the contract. So now you have to apologize to the wild boar. And I was like, okay, but how should I apologize to wild boars? I mean, these are animals. I'm a human. I don't speak wild boarish, so I don't know how to do that. And then she said, yeah, well, I can teach you. I'm here since 6 months. This I know. This part I know. This I learned. So first we need to collect lots of flowers. So we went through the garden with a little basket, and I had to collect lots of flowers. And then I put my taser on a little altar and put the flowers on top. And then I need to take a cloth and wrap my taser with all these flowers inside in this cloth and hide it somewhere deep in my luggage. And then she said, yeah, now you have to speak to them. I was like, honestly, now I really have to speak to the wild boar. Okay, new place, new traditions. I try to adapt. And then I really apologized to these wild boars, and I said, I'm a friend. I didn't bring the weapon to attack you. It's just for my self-defense. I would never attack another being, neither a human being nor an animal. So please feel safe. Please allow us to live together. And I did this whole show. And after a while, she was satisfied and thought, yeah, okay, that's enough now. And funny fact is that after that, really the wild boar didn't come back. So it was really quiet after that. But I think I'm pretty sure it's a coincidence. I don't want to believe anything else. And on my way back after this dishwashing shift and my official apology to the wild boars, I went back to the campground, and I looked through a window and I saw people, naked people, blindfolded, rolling over a rug and touching each other and grunting at the same time. And I thought, I'm not sure if this is the right place. I thought I would learn something about compost toilets, but this is not not the main thing here. It was clearly more about free love, and I found all these love sheds in the forest. They were everywhere. You could find these little huts, these little houses, and there was nothing else inside than just a bed, just a very dirty bed. And I thought, okay, this is really not why I came here. I'm not even sure if this is making my life more sustainable. And then I called Moritz, and he said, okay, get out of there, like in this horror movie, get out. And I called another friend, and he said, is it really dangerous for you? And I said, no, not really dangerous. I mean, these esoteric people, they don't do anything to you. And even the wild boar, they're not really dangerous. And then he said, but you're a storyteller, so maybe it's a good story in the end, Maybe you can take something out of it, and maybe you can actually learn something from these people, because you don't have to be like-minded to learn something from people. And so I thought about it. I stayed for another night, and then I thought, yeah, maybe he's right. And from that moment on, I thought every day, I can also leave tomorrow. I can still leave tomorrow. I can still leave tomorrow. But I didn't. I stayed for the whole month, and it was one of the biggest adventures of my life to stay with these fucking around esoterics. But it was I wouldn't say it was the best month of my life. So the better life started definitely when I came to Lisbon and found my crowd, my people. But it was really good, and I think that's the perfect thing about traveling, that you get out of your comfort zone and you confront yourself with people who are not like-minded, who think in a completely different ways, and that's what you need to learn. Yeah, so that's my story.
Sylvia, thank you so much. We really appreciate your story. We know you from the stage, from Storytelling Lisbon, but can you quickly introduce yourself better for the audience here and everyone at home, please?
Okay, I would say I'm a storyteller by heart, really. Everything I do is somehow connected with storytelling. I studied directing and screenwriting, and this is also what I do, but yeah, with time, many things added to that. So now I do a lot of photography right now. I love photography. It's also a great way to discover Lisbon and meet new people. And yeah, I just love to show people how I see them, the beauty I see in them. So yeah, and I do a lot of commercial stuff, to make a living, but also documentaries and a lot of stuff that brings no money at all. So it's like I'm, living this artist life where you get the money with the crap you don't like and spend it somewhere where your heart is, Yeah. So that's my life too. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And you're from Germany. And what town are you from in Germany?
I'm the last more or less 15 years I lived in Cologne. Probably not many people here will know the city. It's known for the huge cathedral and beer.
And carnival.
And carnival, right. Yeah, carnival. It's a big thing there. Not the Brazilian carnival. It's more like, drinking. But yeah, less sexy. But it's very known for its carnival. Yeah. And now I'm in Portugal and really happy that I made this move. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really big change. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, I forgot something about my introductions.
Oh,
I also do feminist porn. I don't know how I could forget that.
Okay, wait, that's a big one.
The bartender is already into it.
So you're a director for feminist.
Behind the camera so
Behind
far,
the camera,
but I think in a more open world I would also be in front of the camera. But yeah, not brave enough to do that.
Okay.
Maybe it was 70 or something. Like this is my retirement plan. Yeah.
Okay, well that just opened a whole nother thing that I want to ask questions about. But maybe we'll start. Let's start at the very beginning of the story, because when people you biked 3,000 kilometers. Like, how long did that take you? You gave us a little bit of your stories from it with the broken down tire and stuff, but do you have any other crazy stories from that trip? Because that's huge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't have savings for the whole trip, so I had to work and cycle. So I brought my computer with me, and it was weird because sometimes, okay, the client wants changes, and I was sitting there in the middle of nature, doing the last changes with the last 5% of battery, and it was wild. And some of my clients didn't even know that I'm traveling, so I had to pretend all the time that I'm, stationary somewhere in the wildest hostels, with action going on, some drunken Brits running around behind me. Yeah. No, I'm totally. It sounds wonderful. Yeah, let's do some. Yeah. So, it was definitely a challenge to travel and make money at the same time, and it was also a challenge, of course, just to get from A to B, because I totally underestimated how heavy I am with not only my body but the bike, my whole luggage. It was just a lot. So in the beginning I thought, okay, let's go, and I was not moving. I tried my best, but it was just like, oh fuck, I'm so slow. Even children are are faster than me, and all the grannies in the beginning with their e-bikes, I hated them, really. Like, everybody was faster than me, and it was so frustrating. But then Moritz, my ex, he's really supportive with everything I do, even feminist porn. He was always, do your thing, Sylvia, do whatever you want. And he helped me with the route, to find a good route. And so the first 100 kilometers were just along rivers, so not much up and down, and was good to get into it. And then in France the mountains came, and then I was ready, and I was super proud when I made it over the Pyrenees, even with a broken tire, and searching for connections to open a YouTube video about how, it was so frustrating because it was, I think, a 12-year-old who explained me how to change my tire, and sometimes so frustrating when these young people are explaining me stuff.
It sounds like such an amazing trip, but such a hard trip to stay in. Like, did you have those moments where you're like, I want to quit? No, it becomes a lifestyle, and so it's not a journey anymore. It becomes a lifestyle, it becomes a routine, so you're not doubting anymore, do I want to do that? It's not like holiday, it becomes your lifestyle. So you wake up in the morning, you have the routines, how to pack your tent and do the stuff, your morning coffee, and so it was not a question. It was just a question, how far can I go? Or maybe I don't allow myself to think that way, to think, do I want to quit? I think I'm not a quitter.
I do believe you're really courageous on doing that, and I love biking, and I never
Want to have a trip with me? Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, I will, definitely. With all your experience, I'll feel safe. But I'm curious, before that, in the beginning, you mentioned that you got divorced from your partner. And how was emotionally this journey for you? Like, I cannot imagine driving or biking for 2 months, probably with a broken heart, but maybe you weren't with a broken heart. Also, if I told my friends I broke up with my husband and I'm gonna cross the continent with my bike, they will be like, no way, you're gonna stay at home and use jail or something. Like, weren't they protective, or is this something common that people do in Germany? Because when you arrived, there was like another German biking. It was like everyday thing. Like, how was your environment, your friends, and your emotional trip? Were you crying while biking? Because I'm a counselor, I will be driving and crying.
So you mean if the people around me, if my friends also were surprised?
Supportive, probably,
and
from
supportive,
the trip?
Yeah, no.
And you were just divorced, right? And you took this huge crazy
Well,
decision.
to be accurate, we're still not divorced because it costs a lot of money in Germany. So we're saving the money and prefer to buy white wine and have a yeah. So no, we're still not divorced. But yeah, we will do this at some point. But we broke up, and but I'm missing the right vocabulary because broke up, divorce. It sounds so cruel. And it's maybe appropriate if you heard each other before, but we didn't. We were loyal. We're still loyal. And he's my biggest supporter. He's my little cheerleader. And we never hurt each other. Of course, it hurts. It hurts to break up. The whole transformational process hurts. But we never broke up. We're still lovers, and we're still committed, but on a very different level. And now we can even talk with each other about our love stories and our, new thingies we're having. So it just changed. So yeah, I'm really, really grateful for this relationship. I think it's one of the biggest achievements in my life. And people, yeah.
Thank you, Maurice.
No, but it's actually true because some people treat you with pity and think you failed because, your marriage failed. And I think, hey, that's my biggest achievement, that we made it, that we were able not to hurt each other and transform our relationship into something beautiful and that we can still support each other. So, I think we need to understand that there are also different ways to break up or just to transform relationships. So he was very supportive, and all my friends too. I mean, I already started porn, so people got used to a certain degree of weirdness, and I think in the beginning they thought, it's just a phase, and then they understood, oh no, it's the real her, it's the real character. Damn. And so they were really. They were skeptical when I told them about eco-village, free love, and community. They sent me a lot of podcasts about cults and all that stuff. And I was like, no, that's different. It's really about sustainable living. And I will learn how to build a compost toilet. But in the end, they were right. I mean, mostly it's never black and white. It's like, it's more than that. It has shades. And I learned so much from these people there, from people who are not like-minded. And I understand why they read out of cards or dance under the full moon and enjoy their divine femininity. I get it. I will not do that, but I get it now.
So is this eco-village famous in Germany? Because you mentioned that you were browsing the web on YouTube, and then did you find this place? Was it coincidentally, or someone thought you were looking Portugal, eco-village?
No, I was more I found this website where all the eco-villages you have a map and you can see all the eco-villages worldwide. Okay. So I checked out different eco-villages, and this was one that had videos online already, and lots of people talked about it. So I could see actual pictures of it, and some are just mysterious. You don't know what's going on there, and I don't go on my bike. Well.
You trusted this?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about Tamara, I know what I can expect. Of course, it's like ordering a burger at McDonald's. Of course, the picture looks different than what you get in your paper box, So, but I thought I know what I get there.
Yeah, it's like you went because you had you felt like it told you what to expect, and then you got there and immediately that was not the case. The lakes are dried up, even visually it's just not the same place.
Exactly, yeah. Lots of depressed people in their processes. So it was very, very different than the burger advertising. Yeah.
Did you get into your processes? Did you, being around that, some way, connect and kind of understand what was going on for them too, in your own experience?
Yes, I definitely got into my processes, but more as an observer normally as a director and screenwriter, I try to keep myself out of processes. I'm more like, I'm behind the camera, I'm not involved. And maybe this is a new thing, that I'm on stage, that I'm in the middle of a process, that I allow myself to be there. And for me, it was tough to leave this observer seat and be in the middle of it, and also find myself in this group dynamic that was at some point toxic, and to understand what is my role, how can I, because it is people there consider themselves peace workers, and they want to, the basic idea is, if we want peace in the world, we have to start with ourselves. And I believe that is true, you know. And so I had to also ask myself, how am I influencing the situation here right now? Is it just, am I standing up and shouting because I want to be on the right side of things? Or am I really inviting people for dialogue? Am I really listening? Am I really here to understand and learn from the other people? Or am I just, you know, if I just want to be on the right side of things.
I mean, you didn't have to pay to be there, have you? I mean, you were there voluntarily, and also you could go whenever you want to.
Yeah.
It wasn't that kind of call.
But at
like,
some point, you also feel responsible for some things. You know, you become more than this individual. You're not only an individual anymore. You are part of a group, and you synchronize. I also felt the synchronizing, and I felt it in beautiful ways. That I could feel the other person more than just, oh yeah, I have compassion for your situation. No, I could feel them. We even had, our periods were at the same time. We had like similar sleep rhythms. We laughed together, we cuddled together, we cried together. It was a very, very basic human experience, something I really miss in our society, that we don't have these community experiences anymore. But also I felt like, oh, I want to belong, I want to fit in, and some things happen that I couldn't, that doesn't work in my belief system, and they don't work together with my principles of life, you know. So it was a very, like a dilemma. It was a very ambivalent feeling to be there, but I took a lot out of that, and I'm very grateful to all the people. I don't hold anything negative against these people. I think we all had a great chance to learn from each other.
And it sounds like you experienced like the tension of not sort of agreeing with some of the things they were doing, but also that you did have this really profound closeness. And did that closeness with specific people endure after leaving the community, or was that something that was just a function of place?
So it's the most active WhatsApp group I have. So they're still really, really active, but sometimes they're just inviting each other to moon circles and stuff I'm not really into, you know. But there is still a community going on, and these people are also more committed than me, finding communities and traveling from one community to another, volunteering. It's their purpose, their whole life purpose, building community, finding community. And for me, it was more like an experience, and I took things out of it, and I want to embed them here. Like, this is my new mission in Lisbon, that I want to build community. I'm very connected to LGBTQI+. I'm also queer. But also I see a lot of loneliness, people struggling with financial problems, and to the outside they have to pretend, I'm doing well, I'm so successful. And I think I've seen the other side, you know. I've seen that we can hold each other. Yeah. And sometimes it's not even helping each other, it's just holding the space while the other person is telling their story, like we're doing it here.
You learned these new things about community and what you liked, and now you're trying to enact it here in Lisbon. And I'm wondering if it's something that you think is not enactable at home in Germany.
Well, I think in Germany I'm a different person. I don't know why, but I feel more restricted. Even with my language, there are some things I can't say in German because it sounds corny. It sounds like, oh, you can't say these things in German, I love you, to a good friend, oh my God, no. And here hey, I love you, hey, I love you too, and I love you, like, no, it's like, it's easy, it feels easy, everything feels really easy. I can go to a sex club here and it feels easy. Things I wouldn't do in Germany. I think, I don't know, it has a freeing effect to go to another country. But I think I'm not the first person who...
Yeah. I think we can circle back to a few things afterwards because, well, we could keep talking about this for ages.
Yeah.
But it's time for the audience to make their questions. So please, we have gorgeous Rahil here with the mic. If you want to make a question, just raise your hand. He will come with the mic.
Because you're a filmmaker and photographer, did you visually document your experience in the eco-village?
In the eco-village. Oh no, the eco-village is like, it's like sex parties. You're not allowed to film anybody, anything, no. That's also why you can't see many images from there, only directed ones. And maybe that was my, that was the problem, you know, why I had this burger advertising. Like, yeah, it was not really realistic. But I understand why. And the beautiful thing was that after a while, I didn't even have the urge anymore to do anything with my mobile. It was, most of the time it was in my tent, in my luggage, and I didn't see anybody with a mobile.
So I do agree with you with the community living and the feeling of needing a tribe. I'm just wondering, because that's something some of us have been thinking about, how do you do that in the real world without having a culty environment? Like, how do you envision it? Because that's something we're really interested in, and minus the,
Yeah, so there was one exercise we did a lot. It's called Forum, and I think it's not exclusive, an exercise that is exclusively used by Tamarians. I think it's a thing that you find a lot in communities, and people come together, like it's their group, whatever this group is. They come together, sit in a circle, and there are two people leading the forum, mostly elderly people, and whoever feels the urge to say something, whoever has the strong emotion in that moment can stand up, go to the middle, and tells whatever is in their mind. And the beauty is that you just hold the space and you just let them talk. And that's it, you let them talk for how long they want, and they can also, for 5 minutes, they can just run circles in the middle and cry or whatever, and you just hold the space. You're just sitting there with pure presence, without judgment, and then at some point they go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and you come to the root of the problem, what triggered you so hard, and they just tell. And then afterwards you have 3 mirrors. So this person sits down again. Sometimes the leader also stands up and gives them some exercises, mostly to not identify with their story. So when they're enraged and they become loud, especially men, like, oh, this fucker, and then they say, okay, now play chicken. Do the whole thing with the chicken voice. Like, this fucker! And when you do that, you can't identify with your problem anymore. The problem is still there, the rage is there, but you let it go, and you don't identify with it. And they have plenty of methods to make you not identify with it. And then at some point, when this person has the feeling, okay, I'm done, he, she, whatever, sits down, and 3 mirrors go to the middle, one person at a time. And they don't look at this person. There's no direct contact. But they talk about this person in the third person, and they just describe what they perceived. I saw a man who's extremely brave, who faces the deep emotions, whatever. Whatever you saw, whatever you heard, nothing about what came up in yourself, your echo, your emotional echo. No, that's not allowed. Just about what you perceive, without any judgment. And that's it. It's so simple, and it brings so much beauty, so much connection, and this is something I don't know if I'm qualified for it, but I want to become qualified for it, and I want to bring this to Lisbon and do it at least with the people I feel really connected with. Yeah, and I think I can do that because it took me like 10 days and I had a crowd, you know, in Lisbon. So I think I can do that, you know, bring people together and build little community in this urban space. So that's my goal. It was excessive, like excessive answer.
Hi.
Hello.
There is a lot of community in Portugal because it is the country for democratic models of fora. So if you're interested, even local authorities run things like a forum with local NGOs.
Oh,
I ran one of those for the Lisbon Local Authority a few
So
years ago.
So about
it's a model.
Already.
It's a model, and it's not just hippie. It's also a democratic model. Yes. So it's quite interesting. Yeah. My question is, and here I've got to do a disclaimer, which is as a diversity and inclusion trainer, I learned that all of us have stereotypes and prejudice. Yeah. So my question would be, what have you learned about yourself through the experience of your own prejudices, especially coming from a very individualistic society into a very community-based society like Southern European societies are, and Latin, a lot of Latin countries.
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, I love
but
them.
A good one.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I think most people around me were more used to this whole community thing, community life, and they maybe it was the second day they were already laying there in a cuddle puddle and having fun together, and I was super confused by that. I was super confused. And whenever people touched me without a disclaimer, I was like, ugh. I became really, really stiff. And I was together with a guy from UK, we became best friends. It's beautiful. It's like you here. I really found brothers and sisters there. And maybe the community is not existing for me anymore, but I found family, and this is still around. So, and in the beginning, I really felt, oh my God, I can't let go of many things, of my stiffness, and I was not used. Oh, that's a big one. I was not used to unsexual touch. Yeah. So for me, touch and being naked was always sexual, always, and I've found really sisterhood there. Like in the end, I found it really comfortable. That's a beautiful development over this 1 month. That in the end, I really enjoyed it, just being there with other women, and we gave each other comfort and hold each other while crying or danced around the fire and all that stuff, that hippie stuff. But it was fun. It was really fun, and it gave me so much comfort. And I could give comfort to others, and I lost this stiffness. But it shocked me in the beginning that I was not used to, that I didn't even know. And even in my family, there was no hugging or unsexual touch. So it was also a sad thing for me to realize that it's so new to me. Yeah. But I think there's more of it. It's just a deep question, and maybe I'm still thinking about it. Maybe I'm. Yeah.
Thank you, Sylvia, so much. I like still have so many questions, but I want to say thank you for coming on our stage, and thank you for sharing with everybody. It's really been amazing to listen.
Yeah.
Yes, Sylvia, thank you so much. We want to end the night just by asking you, what have you learned about yourself from the experience of telling the story, or your story at Storytelling Lisbon?
So tonight was special. I've been 2 times at your regular events, and I thought, maybe 300. I think last time when we had the sex topic, it was more or less 300 people, and I thought, oh my God, standing on stage in front of so many people, that must be hard. But actually standing in front of you, a much smaller crowd, is more challenging for me, because I can see whenever one of you lifts his or her eyebrow, I can see it. And so I really thank you, because I felt you hold the space, and you gave me a really, really good energy, and I think we had a really good one-night stand. It felt as intimate as a one-night stand. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That's it for this episode of What Lingers. Thanks so much to Gonzalo and his team at LX Brewery for hosting us.
Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And also follow us on Instagram at Storytelling Lisboa to keep up to date.
What Lingers is a podcast from the team behind Storytelling Lisboa.
It's produced by Jonny Bunyan. Thank you so much for listening, and join us again for another edition of What Lingers.
See you next week.